Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli back with another review video, and for this one, gonna be reviewing another one of my all-time favorite Disney animated films. And so, number one, of course, is The Great Mouse Detective, and number two is, of course, The Nightmare Before Christmas. And so for number three, it's Robin Hood. Yep, so Robin Hood is my number three all-time favorite Disney animated film. So, yeah, so Robin Hood, I gotta say, because I love, Robin Hood is fantastic. It's really good, I mean, what can you say, Just everything about it, And just, because with the animation, the story and such, the music composed by one of the great composers of music, and, for Disney, that is, and that is George Bruns, and really, I think, George Bruns, he's really, he's really great composer of music and such for Disney, because just, if you listen to the music he's done and such, in the classic Disney animated films, you get the idea, it really does show, I think you kind of agree with me. So, yeah, so Robin Hood, because it's also, a Disney cult classic, it definitely is, and, yeah, just everything about it is just amazing, because the opening to it, because of, it has, the book and such, and with the rooster, and yet the rooster starts off, there's been a heap of legends and tall tales about Robin Hood, all different too. Well, we folks of the Animal Kingdom have our own version. It's a story of what really happened in Sherwood Forest. And, the credits roll and the cast, and with the characters like, Robin Hood and Little John, they're really good. The voices, like Phil Harris voicing, Little John, he's really good, and yet Phil Harris had voiced, had previously done other voice work as such, of Disney, and of course did Baloo in The Jungle Book and Thomas O'Malley in the Aristocats, and what's his face who voiced Robin Hood really was the pure voice of Robin Hood for this, for Disney's Robin Hood, and the villains like Prince John, and oh man, Prince John, he'd have to be my number two all-time favorite Disney animated villain, definitely. Next to Professor Ratigan from The Great Mouse Detective. Yeah, definitely. And his sidekicks are Hiss. Yeah, he's pretty funny, and if you can tell, and as you can see in the film, like they kind of act like they fight like a married couple and such, and it goes to show that they do, just everything, because like some parts, like I knew it, I just knew this would happen. I tried to warn you, but no, you wouldn't listen, Funny. And the Sheriff of Nottingham, like, oh man, he's another evil one, because, well, for Prince John, like, just evil about him, because, he hates Robin Hood, wants to kill him and such, and just torments the people and such, like, has them put in jail and such, and even plans to hang Friar Tuck, and even Sir Hiss is shocked, says, hang Friar Tuck, a man of a church, and like, yes, you silly serpent, to lure Robin Hood in, or that kind of stuff. And for the Sheriff of Nottingham, like, such an evil sheriff, like, not the sheriff he's supposed to be, like, not following the ways of being a sheriff, like, for example, just, like, just taking money from people and such, the village people, and even from blind people, like, even though that was Robin Hood disguised as a blind person, but still, it goes to show, the Sheriff of Nottingham taking money from blind people, that's evil right there. That's just really evil. And even where he arrests Friar Tuck, that's another evil thing right there. That's evil. Yeah, and just, and also the two vultures are kind of like with this, I guess you could say that along with the Sheriff of Nottingham, kind of his sidekicks, like Trigger and, oh god, I forget the other vulture's name, but, the Hood, Hood and the Giant's axe, or not axe, but, the Sheriff of Nottingham, voiced by Pat Buttram, and Trigger, voiced by George Lindsay, and they had previously voiced Lafayette and Napoleon in the Aristocats, and now they voice the Sheriff of Nottingham and Trigger, and yet three cast members from Robin Hood: Phil Harris, Pat Buttram, and George Lindsay. They did voices in the Aristocats, and now do voices in Robin Hood. So yeah, and all the other characters, like the kids, like the rabbit and the sister and little brother or little sister, I really can't remember, with the teddy bear and the turtle, they were good. Maid Marian and the chicken, oh god, I forget the chicken's name, but you know what I'm talking about, alongside with Marian. They were good too. Yeah, and like the love and such, the relationship and love that Robin Hood and Marian have for each other, and everything was really, and everything about this film was amazing, because like from the sequences, like the pretty funny sequence, like where Robin Hood and Little John, they disguise themselves as fortune tellers, and fool Prince John, and they steal the money and gold, and then the sequence with the tournament of the Golden Arrow will now begin, that was a good sequence, and Prince John does figure out it's Robin Hood disguised as the bird, and the stork, and I dub thee loser, and seize him, and that line that Robin gives to Mary, Marian, my darling, I love you more than life itself, that's a really beautiful line there, I think, very touching line, just for someone you love, so yeah. And and the part, traitor to the crown, that crown belongs to King Richard. Long live King Richard, enough, I'm king, off with his head, and the big sequence, the fighting and such and escaping, all the pacing and such that goes on is funny. And also, one song that I think either was nominated or did win for an Academy Award, it was that song, of love and such, because love goes on or something like that, for that scene with Robin Hood and Marian, they walk around the forest at night with the beautiful animation and the waterfall, And then we come to a big party number, a big musical number and such, the phony King of England. That's a fun song. And so, that scene with, we cut back to the castle and such, and, the sheriff comes in singing the song, The Phony King of England, and Sir Hiss starts singing it as well, and Prince John walks in, and, of course, you see Prince John, he's not pleased with it, he's pissed, and Prince John, the Sheriff of Nottingham's like, but, sire, it's a big hit, the whole village is singing it, and Prince John's like, oh, they are they? Well, they'll be singing to the mass, double the taxes, triple the taxes, squeeze every last, or something, and out of those musical peasants. And so, we cut to nighttime, it's gloomy and rainy, and almost every member, citizen, of the village and such are thrown in jail, and, that whole scene, we cut to the church, and Friar Tuck and the two mice are there, and the sheriff barges in, and, just Friar Tuck just snaps, get out of my church! He's had enough, fighting the sheriff, and, you're under arrest, and, again, puts the chain around his neck, and arresting Friar Tuck. Again, as I said, that's evil right there, arresting a friar, that's evil. And then, later on, Robin and Little John, they come in, they plan to save everybody and such, and give the money back to them, take it from Prince John and give it back to them. And then, as Robin Hood finishes up, because they attaches them to a rope, that kind of thing, from Prince John's room to the prison cell and such, that, I'm trying to, I'm saying, that scene. And right as Robin Hood leaves, Sir Hiss wakes up, and that's when everything goes crazy, the climactic scene happens, the animation, the pacing, everything's fast, and then the part where the Sheriff of Nottingham grabs a torch and such, and this time we got him now, and moves around such, trying to get Robin, and then it all ends, because Robin is on top of the tower, he falls down, and it lands in the water and such, and Prince John's, kill him, kill him, and I remember there was an alternate ending to that where Robin Hood was wounded after he fell into the water, and Little John saves him, and they hide and such, make their way to the church. But of course, Sir Hiss and Prince John go finding them themselves, and Sir Hiss knows where they're going. Like, sire, they went this way, and like, look, they've gone to the church. The fat one has left Robin Hood all alone. But then they see that he's not alone. Like, Marion is there, and the woman mice, the mice from the church, the female mice is there, and Prince John comes in, why, Maid Marian, and then, how about we end his pain? A quick thrust with the sword, and Sir Hiss like, oh, how very merciful, sire. I believe the end is near, and then, King Richard barges in, well, Brother John, up to your old tricks, I see, I leave you in charge of Nottingham and such, you're both guilty, I should banish you, although it would upset Mother, you don't, nobody messes with King Richard, and, Prince John knows he's screwed, and the reason that didn't happen, that wasn't the actual ending, is because it would have made Prince John too sinister, and I think it does show, because we've already seen Prince John, he's evil, but also a humorous villain, an evil/humorous Disney villain, you know what I'm saying? So almost some Disney villains can be funny and evil, like say Captain Hook, Hades, Professor Ratigan had some of his funny moments. Jafar had some of his funny moments. I want to say Jafar, maybe Scar, I'm sure you get the idea. Even Pete, he's sometimes a villain, But anyway, but the actual ending to it, because Robin Hood is perfectly fine and such, and, Sir Hiss just I tried to warn you, but no, you wouldn't listen, and look what you've done to your mother's castle, mommy, and, the thumb-sucking bit, the one of the Prince John's memorable parts of the film, sucking his thumb such, mommy, and, and then he just loses it, and just whacking and trying to whack Sir Hiss, just loses it, and yet, what Sir Hiss says, is true, help, he's gone insanably mad, and that echo and such, and we fade to black, we cut to daytime and such, and King Richard, he took care of everything else, and had Prince John and Sir Hiss and the Sheriff of Nottingham sentenced, to community service, and then we see the Robin Hood and Marian, they get married and such. So, and that's nice, and long live Robin Hood and long live King Richard. And the funny thing is, though, because both Prince John and King Richard are both voiced by legendary actor Sir Peter Ustinov, and Sir Peter Ustinov, oh man, because he is the pure voice for, Prince John, really, because really fitted the role of Prince John, so he not only voiced Prince John, but voiced King Richard, Friar Tuck, it appears that, I forget the rest he says, but, and so, yeah, and it all ends, and the rabbit kid, is it Timmy? Is that his name, Timmy? I forget, where, Toby, the turtle's where are you going? Well, Robin Hood and Marian are gonna have kids, so somebody has to watch them. So, he hops aboard, with Little John, ho, and we don't see the horses, because he whips out and such. We don't see the horses. That's weird, and then, as they pass by, like, hey, look, here comes the bride, Trigger, purrs in, and fires the arrow, bounces and such, almost hitting Prince John, Hiss, and the Sheriff of Nottingham, and then it lands on one of the hearts, in the coach, like, well, folks, that's what sure happened in Sherwood Forest, or however he said, and then it ends with the camera raising up, and hoodalally, golly, what a day, and then the end, and then boom, the movie ends. And so Robin Hood, it's a really great film. It is a Disney. It is a Disney cult classic. No doubt about it. And again, it's my number 3 all-time favorite Disney animated film. So for Robin Hood, I'd give it 10 out of 10 stars. Because hey, 10 out of 10 stars. Robin Hood is fantastic. One of great adaptation of Disney and such. Everything about it is great, from the characters, the animation, the music, everything about it is fantastic and freaking awesome. So again, 10 out of 10 stars for Robin Hood. You guys let me know what you think of Robin Hood. If you enjoy it, if it's in your top favorite animated films, Disney animated films, just you guys let me know. So again, 10 out of 10 stars for Robin Hood. Hope you enjoyed this review video. More new review videos coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video/review video. Take care, and peace out, and oodalali, golly, what a day.